Hey, I'm Kevin, and you're watching Questions with Shopify Interns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself. Where are you from and what's your role at Shopify?
Sure. I'm actually from Waterloo. I was born in Waterloo, and I'm also going to the University of Waterloo. I just finished first year, so I'm going into second year. And I work on developer acceleration, which is a sub-team of production engineering. Okay. So what we're working on is infrastructure for developers to sort of improve their lives and let them actually have like solid development environments. So it's a lot of cool problems.
Yeah, sounds really cool. How old are you?
I am 19.
Nice. When you were a little kid, what did you want to be when you grow up?
I think I wanted to be an architect for a long time. So I always found building design and that sort of thing pretty interesting. It's kind of funny, I guess, how I ended up in like infrastructure and software where you're still doing the same sort of design component. Yeah.
Were you always excellent at school?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Pretty good.
Okay. How did you earn your first money and what did you buy for those money?
First money was here at Shopify. Like if you want like an actual formal job, then yeah, like steady income. The biggest sum of money I got when I was younger was we got a silver medal at National Science Fair, and we got like $1,200 from that.
Ooh.
It's pretty good back when we were early high school. So.
Yeah.
And I bought a guitar and an amp with it, so yeah.
Nice. So you're into music? Into music?
Yeah.
What was the first thing you worked on as a developer? Like in general?
Of all time?
Just here.
The first thing that I've worked on was a game that I built in Scratch. I don't know if you've heard of that piece of software. It's by MIT, and it lets you drag modules around and sort of create this event-driven, whatever you want really. I was building a game, but it was pretty cool. It was like the first time I actually touched like any sort of like software like thing at all. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What was the game about?
It was like a bullet hell game.
Uh-huh.
You know those like Japanese bullet hell games?
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's pretty cool.
Cool, man.
I learned a lot about software design without really even realizing it, because I kind of jumped in and just built something, and that's where I first sort of found out that I liked software development so much, I guess. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And how did you get to Shopify?
I got to Shopify through applying on the Waterloo website. It's not as interesting as other people's journeys here, but so at Waterloo there's like a co-op system, and you get to apply to like a huge amount of jobs. So I applied to like 80 jobs. And yeah, they have their own job board. So I applied on that, and they make you do like a bunch of different cool challenges, and then they have a bunch of rounds of interviews, which were pretty cool.
Yeah,
so nice. I ended up here.
Maybe you can share like your feelings from the interviews and stuff. Like,
yeah, sure. I thought the interviews were actually really interesting. They're a lot different than the other kinds of interviews that I got. A lot of interviews gave you algorithm questions, and they were very problem-solving driven, whereas the Shopify interviews were very much about figuring out what kind of person you were and what kind of stuff interested you, and kind of just see how motivated you were and that kind of stuff. It was it was a lot different of an interview, and I actually liked the style of it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned motivation. Where do you get like inspiration for things that you do?
I'm mostly inspired by seeing what other people are able to do, and there's a lot of really amazing people here and who are really good at their craft, and it's very inspiring to see like how good you can get when you really apply yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have a role model or like a mentor?
No specific role model per se, but Burke and Julian were really good mentors to me in the past 4 months.
Okay, so who's that?
There are two guys on my team on developer acceleration.
Okay, and why do you admire them?
Because they're really good at what they do, and they're willing to take time out of their day to help me out and teach me a lot. So that was a really good opportunity.
Yeah. What were you doing before Shopify?
Before Shopify, I was actually working on a startup that I helped to found. So
Wow, cool. What it was about?
it's called PetroRecruit, and we're building a platform for people to look for jobs in the oil and gas industry specifically. So it's a bunch of scraping and a little bit of machine learning to try and categorize things and fit candidates into like the right positions.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How it ended up?
So I worked at this place called the Velocity Garage at Waterloo back in high school. And it was for a machine learning company that was trying to predict petroleum and gas failures in pipelines, for example, and wells. Anyways, I was doing sort of tooling there and some back-end work. Nothing really machine learning related at that point, but the founder of that company connected me with his friend who was also looking for a co-founder for his startup. So that's how my startup ended up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is it like right now? What's with that startup?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's a lot of learning.
Raise millions.
Yeah, we raised quite a bit of money. I was pretty happy with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Tell me about a time when you failed to achieve your goals. What did you learn from that experience?
Maybe I just set reasonable goals. I don't know. Maybe I don't set enough goals. Skip? I don't know.
Okay, no problem. What's the most important thing that you learned in Shopify?
Well, I learned a shit ton of stuff here. Aside from technical aspects, like the list goes on of like the cool technical stuff that I ended up getting to learn and play around with here. But like aside from that, like one thing I learned about life, I guess, is like, I guess how you shouldn't really compare yourself to other people too much. Because I found like coming here was very overwhelming to be around so many smart people. You know, it's the whole thing about imposter syndrome, you know, like if you keep comparing yourself to the people who have very different situations, for example, like people who have been working in the industry for like 5-10 years, you get like, you know, you can feel pretty bad about like where you're at technically, but I really learned to, I guess, embrace the fact that other people have their own specialties, and it's like really important to sort of bounce ideas off the people that have a lot of context and things and to learn off them. I think it's really important to do that.
That's true. What do you like to do in your free time?
I like reading on the internet a lot about, it's gonna sound kind of nerdy, but a lot of my free time is on Wikipedia, just learning stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I was working on my startup a lot in my free time. Yeah, it's been a pretty intense few months, but been accomplishing a lot, which is nice.
Yeah.
Got a few hours of video games in there, here and there. But
yeah. That's definitely awesome. When do you usually go to sleep and when do you wake up?
Depends. As of recently, it's been like, been going to bed around 3, waking up around 11.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What languages do you speak, and is there any language you would like to learn?
I only speak English proficiently. We learned French in high school. I was terrible at it. And I really want to learn Mandarin. I've been sort of learning it on the side, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dream car?
Dream car. Lamborghini. Lamborghinis are pretty cool.
Which one?
The yellow one. I don't know the models, but I don't know. I'm not really super into cars. Ideally, I'd never own a car. Like that's, if I could, I would avoid owning a car.
Okay. Why?
It's a lot of expenses that you probably don't need, and there's like a lot of probably cool services that are going to be available in the next like 10 years with like self-driving cars and Uber.
Yeah.
Hopefully that comes to fruition, but
yeah. And there is one thing that you will recommend to people outside watching this show, what will it be?
Game of Thrones. Out of any TV show?
No, it
Or
was
what?
like
I would recommend just enjoying what you're doing always every day. Just enjoy every day. And try not to regret things and kind of just enjoy your life.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What are your plans for future?
No idea. I honestly have no idea what I want to do, where I want to go. It's kind of all up in the air, and next few years we'll sort of decide that, I guess.
Okay, so I don't think that like the next question was like, what would you do after you retire?
Okay, after I retire.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, when I retire, I'd probably want to be spending time doing a lot of hobbies, or maybe helping other people out with whatever I'm able to learn up until that point, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of spread knowledge and really just do a lot of activities that I find fun and like never really had time to explore, that kind of stuff. And traveling.
Yeah, traveling, awesome. Okay, I think we were pretty much at the end. So do you want to greet someone or leave any message? Just smile, be happy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.